Hey all, Steve from GuitarNiche here. What we're going to do is I'm going to go through the process of removing the strings here and how to stabilize the bridge during that process. Okay, just this one little thing I'm going to concentrate on. Again, is it okay to take all the strings off? Well, yeah, it is. If you got a good process down, it's not a problem. You know, it's like going to the chiropractor for a guitar. Decent built instrument should have no issue taking all the pressure off and then reapplying it. It's actually a good thing. Anyway, first thing I'm going to do is remove this bar. We don't need that. And then up at the other end here, I'm going to loosen the pads here at the nut. I'm sorry you can't see this, but I'll describe it. So I'm taking off the pressure pads one by one. Give me a moment here. I might cut this out, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so got the pressure pads off. Okay, still at pitch, and I'll turn it over and show you what's going on under here. So I got a little piece of foam in there to keep the springs quiet. Okay, that's easy peasy. The actual system itself, this is again the an Epiphone Les Paul Axcess Lifeson, Alex Lifeson model, and this is a Graphtec bridge, which is really nice. It has the piezo transducers in it, so you get the acoustic tones and stuff. Just got to be careful with this kind of stuff because it is a little bit more delicate than your run-of-the-mill Floyd Rose stuff, which can be just bulletproof. These things you got to have a little bit more care involved with working around them. Anyway, get to the point. So first things first. This is just a tongue depressor. You know, you can get that at a hobby store. You can use you know, whatever is going to get under the back of your bridge here. Okay, and at the other end here, I'm just going to dump the string tension. I'm cranking the keys down about 2 turns each. Okay, and that's already, you see, that's already locked this in place. No damage being done here. I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to take out one spring. Easy peasy. Pop that in my parts tray, flip it back over. Oh, well, that went for a ride. Anyway, okay. And I'm going to repeat the process. Okay, so just dropping the pitch a little bit, basically even for all the strings. Okay, so each string's getting a couple turns. This is held in place again. Turn that upside down. Take out another spring. Look at that. Just for the sake of keeping things stabilized, because I don't want things flopping around too much. Okay, I'm going to keep my finger on this sustain block here. Turn that over, and see, that's loose again. And I'm going to release again, couple turns each tuner, gradually bringing the pressure down to very little, to the point where there's almost no pressure on the instrument. Oh, I should have put that under there. Anyway, you can see how, actually I'll make a point of this, without that block there, or this backstop here, the thing will just continue to fall into the body, and at some point it can all just go like that. Anyway, point taken. Turn that back over. This is the tricky part. At this point, there goes the final spring. Control the load. Turn it back over. Bingo. See, that's nice and loose. Okay, at this point, I've got very, very little, if any, pressure on the strings. I can control this, you know, at will. There's, even if this flops around, it's like not going to be a big deal. And I'm going to just unlock these strings here, or the pressure pad bolts, intonation bolts, whatever you want to call them. Okay. And if they're not too tight, I should be able to back them off with my fingers. And look at that. Easy peasy. They all came out. This might be loose, but I have control of it. I can't lift it out because it's wired in, you know, in the back. At this point, I have to be very careful, because if I turn this back over, because those wires are attached, I really have to exercise some caution here and make sure that things don't flop around. Okay, but at this point, I'm going to leave this here. I will clean up the face. I will clean up the fretboard. I'm going to take off the strings, and when it comes time to putting them back on, then we'll come back and we'll have a look at some tricks to make that happen. Okay. In other words, we're going to try to reverse the process. Fretboard's been cleaned, headstock, I went around it, made sure the bushings were tight and stuff like that, and that's in good shape, etc. Anyway, we're at the point where we're going to put the strings back on. The point of this video is to look at how we reinstall the strings and control the whole mechanism and the pressures involved at the same time. So first thing, I'm going to cut the balls off of the heaviest string, the E string here. This is a set of 10s. I gotta tell you, these tools here, these Allen keys with the handle, if you're gonna do this for regularly, let's say, spend a few dollars, get these kinds of tools. They save your wrist, they save farting around with clunking and stuff like that. They really are very cool. You use both of these to get the job done, because one is for snug, the other one is knock it into place, stiffen it up. Anyway, so I'm going to make sure that this is, it's going to flop around no matter what I do. So I'm going to get this low E. I'm starting with the low E just because it sits on my side, and it's just one of those things that I prefer to start with. Okay, sorry about the noise. And I'm just installing these strings au naturel, using the Z or Z type installation, as it were. I have a video on what kind of what's the best way to install strings, luthier's knot, or the pinch technique, or the trapped wrap, if you want to call it that, or whatever. Anyway, we'll link to that. So I have one string in, and I'm just going to make sure that this is snugged up here. Good. Okay. Not gorilla tight. Never gorilla tight, because we're not gorillas. Okay. These are small parts, fine parts that can snap if you over tighten them. Now, the trick with this particular unit is it has some wiring in the back, because it's got the piezo system in it. Okay. So I can't be I got to be really careful with it. The other thing I want to mention before I carry on is, you might see some finish issues and stuff like that. This guitar's got some age on it. The pickup covers are nickel plated, so they don't look the best, but I'm not going to try to remove patina from a nickel cover or any nickel parts. Leave it alone. Anyway, so there's no pressure on this, really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wind up this one string until I feel a reasonable amount of resistance. Okay, so it takes a little bit to push that down. And if I do this right, I can hang on to that. And I'm going to grab a spring here. And I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to see this because I got to be really careful about the wiring in the back. But I'm going to install the center spring. Now that that's in, okay, this looks good. Okay, you'll see that I just popped that center spring in. It wasn't very difficult because the pressure for this floating system is set just right, let's see. Okay, so you'll see the foam is in there to keep the spring noise down. And now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put that in there, this tongue depressor, just to, you know, keep things under control. And we'll go on to the next string. Cut the balls. Go, cut the balls. Anyway, another thing I like to mention here is when you're doing certain things, if you're, you know, if you have the time to do things a certain way, more power to you. But I like efficiencies. I like to be able to say, you know what, if I'm going to do one job, I'm going to do that same job over and over so that I don't waste time. And if I'm not wasting time, I'm spending more time playing. Simple as that, eh? Less frustration, and you develop better muscle memory. It's all good. Oh, might as well, I was going to say I was going to cut both of those, but first string, second string, I don't want to have to figure out which is which later on, so I'm going to, not that that's a big issue, but I'm going to do the second string there, and then the first string. Okay, so, and here we are at the first string. Okay, so they're all in, they're snugged up. At this point, I can go back and make sure that these are, are properly tensioned up. Okay, again, not gorilla tight, just snug. Once they're installed at the headstock and fully stretched out, or at least partially stretched out, then I will go back and I'll actually go through this again. Okay, I'll get these out of the way. Now from this point, I'm going to just literally just install each string one by one at the headstock. Boom, 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 boom. And once I have them installed, they're going to be loose. This whole system is going to be loose. And then we'll look at bringing the tension back up, okay, and getting it normalized again, okay? At this point, I'm going to take a break and we'll install the rest of the strings. Keep in mind there's only one spring in the back there, so things are going to be loosey-goosey until we get to the next step. So we have all our strings installed at the locking bridge, and the purpose of this video is going to be to get the string pressure up into the normal range. For right now, all the strings are loosey-goosey. That's why I have this tongue depressor underneath here, just to keep the pressure under control and stop the bridge from the end of it from falling into the body. On some instruments, this is a finish that goes right across the back. There's no external or surface route here, and you know, you don't want your the back ends of these bolts to be smashing into a nice finish and destroying it, right? Anyway, so this is just a normal course of things. At the moment, I have one spring in the back, and basically no pressure on the system. The strings are in, they're secure, they're tensioned up, so I know that they're not going to slip. I'm just going to give each string a couple little turns. And this is loose already. Okay. At this point, even before, during, or during the process, you want to make sure that the plate, the bridge plate, and the fulcrum slots are oriented with the actual bridge bolts, because sometimes they can get trapped underneath or hung up somewhere. That's, bridge might look a little like this or a little like that. Before you go putting like full tension on this thing, you want to make sure that that thing is sitting pretty. Otherwise, you're gonna have to back stuff off. You're gonna have issues. You're gonna cause secondary problems and things like that. Okay, just a little housekeeping there. So this is starting to come up already. I'm gonna put a little bit more pressure on that. I want to see a little bit more of a tip up on that. Not sky high, but just enough to say that, I can push that down. And what I'm doing is I'm anticipating what the spring in the back is going to accomplish. And at this point, I'm going to use one of my favorite tools, which is just I think that's a number 1 Robinson or something like that. I forget what the numbering is with these things, but I like the isolated tip on this. Gives you a really good purchase on the spring, eh? Just like that, boom! Bob's your uncle. Anyway, so that's 2 springs. Bring up a little more tension. Keep in mind that this has already been set. I'm just restringing it. So I know where, I know the amount of, let's put it this way. I don't have to readjust everything. I'm just illustrating how to take the springs out, how to deal with the pressure, and how to put the strings back in, okay? So anyway, I've tensioned them up a little bit. The strings, that is. Pop that back over. Throw the last spring in. If this were a more complex setup, like doing it from scratch, and I had to set all this stuff up, that's a different story, and that is subject for a different series of videos, okay? So now our springs are all in. All that tension in the back has been set for A440. So we are going to make sure that we are going to get the strings into that general area. Sorry, I'm doing this acoustically because it tends to make for a little bit better presentation. There we go. Now, if I check for level on this, it's going to be pretty good. I might have to make some small adjustments, but the point I'm trying to make is I've taken the springs out in a controlled fashion so that this isn't going and I installed the new strings in a logical fashion, okay? I'm not worried about intonation because that's been set. I will check it though, okay? And I've reinstalled the springs and brought it back up to tension in a controlled fashion so that things are not, flying apart, causing me headaches, giving me grief, making the air blue, etc., etc. Okay, at this point, the strings will need a good stretch. I'll have to go through the rest of the process to make sure everything is nailed down properly, etc., etc. But anyway, there you have it, okay? So the springs are back The tension is where it's supposed to be. I'll give it a good stretch, level things out again. Anyway, point taken. This is how you control the installation, extraction and reinstallation of springs on a locking system under controlled conditions. Okay? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for coming out. Like and subscribe. Have a great day.